Energy sector, share of different sources in installed capacity. Total installed power capacity in India is around 3.9 lakh megawatts. 3.9 lakh megawatts. Achievements in renewable energy sector. Globally, today India stands fourth in RE power capacity, fourth in wind power and fifth in solar power capacity. Total installed capacity of renewable energy including large hydropower above 25 megawatt 150 gigawatt. Share of renewable energy including large hydropower above 25 megawatt in total installed capacity 38%. Share of non-fossil energy sources, renewable energy and nuclear 40%. India has achieved the national determined contribution NDC target of having at least 40% installed capacity from non-fossil energy sources by end of 2030. Top 3 states in installed wind power as on 31st December 2020: Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Top 3 states in installed solar power as on 31st December 2020: Karnataka, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Latest development: earlier only smaller hydro power projects of less than 25 megawatts in capacity were categorized as renewable energy. However, in 2019 to 2020, the government has decided to declare even the large hydropower projects more than 25 megawatt as renewable energy source. Later, even the ocean energy was also declared as renewable energy. Initiatives for solar energy. National Solar Mission target 100 gigawatt of solar power by the end of 2022. Strategy: solar park and ultra mega solar power projects, 40,000 megawatt of solar power through 50 solar parks, capacity of 500 megawatts and above, plus grid connected roof-up solar program. Target of 40,000 megawatts implemented through DISCOMs. PM Kusum scheme, setting up of 10,000 megawatts of grid connected solar and other renewable energy plants on barren or uncultivable land is greater than sell power to DISCOMs and earn income. Off-grid areas, replacement of diesel agriculture pump sets with 20 lakh solar agricultural pumps, reduce the dependence of farmers on diesel and meet their irrigation needs. Grid connected areas, replacement of diesel agricultural pump sets with 15 lakh solar agricultural pumps. Use the generated solar power to meet the irrigation needs and the excess solar power will be sold to DISCOMs. National Wind Solar Hybrid Policy, hybrid system greater than hybrid system, wind turbine generators and solar PV systems can operate on same land. However, for being considered as hybrid system, the installed capacity of at least one of them should be minimum 25%. Okay. Honorable PM Modi has laid down the foundation stone for the hybrid renewable energy park near Vigakot village in the Kutch district of Gujarat. It will be the India's largest renewable energy generation park. Atal Jyoti Yojana AJAY Phase 2. Atal Jyoti Yojana Phase 2 to illuminate dark regions through installation of solar street lights, implemented by Energy Efficiency Services Limited. Public sector undertaking scheme, a scheme for setting up 12 gigawatt grid connected solar PV power projects by public sector undertakings with domestic cells and modules is under implementation. Viability gap funding support is provided under the scheme. Production linked incentive scheme for manufacturing of high efficiency solar PV modules. Close to 75% of India's solar power capacity is built on Chinese solar cells and modules. Hence, the PLI scheme is expected to ensure Atmanirbhar Bharat in solar energy sector. Atmanirbhar Bharat in solar energy sector. Renewable purchase obligation. What is it? DISCOMs required to purchase certain percentage of electricity from renewable energy sources. Where is the pen? Gram Ujala program. Benefits for households. Each household will get up to 5 LEDs in exchange for working condition old incandescent lamps. Area to be covered. In the first phase, it will be implemented only in villages of 5 districts in 5 different states: AP, UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Gujarat. Implementation agency: Convergence Energy Services Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of Energy Efficiency Services Limited, a PSU under Ministry of Power. India's first gas trading hub, India Gas Exchange Limited (IGX), India's first gas trading platform which provides a national level market to all participants for trading in gas. IGX facilitates automated trading where multiple buyers and sellers can trade for physical delivery of natural gas. How will it work? Allow buyers and sellers of natural gas to trade both in the spot market and in the forward market for imported natural gas across 3 hubs: Dahej and Hazira in Gujarat and Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh. Will it cover both imported and domestically produced natural gas? As of now, the gas trading hub covers the trading of only the imported natural gas. The price of domestically produced natural gas will continue to be fixed by the government. Regulation of trading. At present, there is no statutory authority to regulate trade or transactions happening on the IGX platform. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board (PNGRB) is in the process to draft the regulation for natural gas trading hub or natural gas exchange in India. Major gas hubs of the world. The world's biggest natural gas hub is the Henry Hub in the US state of Louisiana. In Europe, Britain's National Balancing Point (NBP) and the Dutch Title Transfer Facility (TTF) have emerged as the main natural gas hubs. Gas pricing reforms. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved revised domestic natural gas pricing guidelines. These guidelines are based on the recommendations of Kriti Parikh Committee. The changes were made in the wake of sharp rise in the international price of natural gas. Earlier formula of domestic gas pricing: 4 gas hubs, that is Henry Hub, Alberta, National Balancing Point in the UK and Russia, which was revised at an interval of 6 months. Background: nomination fields are acreages that the government awarded to ONGC and oil before 1999, after which auctions became the basis of awarding oil and gas blocks. The price of APM gas, which accounts for about 2/3 of India's natural gas production, has been determined as per the modified Rangarajan formula since November 1st, 2014. Salient features: applicability: gas produced from nominal fields of ONGC or oil, NELP blocks and pre-NELP blocks where the production sharing contract provides for government approval of prices. Linkage with crude oil prices: domestic natural gas price APM price shall be 10% of the Indian crude basket price as defined by Petroleum Planning and Analysis Cell. PPAC will notify the monthly prices for domestic gas. APM prices would be declared on monthly basis by PPAC on the last day of the month. Prices will be based on average of daily prices of Indian crude basket price taken from 28th day of previous month to 25th day of current month. Floor ceiling prices for gas produced by ONGC and oil from their nomination fields. The administered price mechanism price shall be subject to a floor and a ceiling. $4 to $6.5 per MMBTU, which will be revised after 2 years by 25 cents per year. Incentives for production: gas produced from new well or well interventions in nominations fields of ONGC and oil would be allowed a premium of 20% over the APM price. Benefits: provide stable and predictable pricing for domestic gas while offering protection to both producers and consumers, and incentives for enhancing domestic gas production. Expand the consumption of natural gas and help in transition towards net zero emission. India aims to increase the share of gas in energy mix to 15% by 2030 from current 6.5%. Decrease in prices for PNG for households and CNG for transport. Fertilizer sector, which uses natural gas, will also gain and lower fertilizer subsidy burden. Revised guidelines make prices linked to crude, which is a practice now followed in most industry contracts, is more relevant to our consumption basket and has deeper liquidity in global trading markets on a real-time basis. Petroleum Planning and Analysis Cell (PPAC). It is a non-statutory body under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, which has the following functions. It is a non-statutory body. Ensure effective administration of the subsidy schemes notified by the government. Monitor and analysis trends in prices of crude oil, petroleum products and natural gas and their impact on oil companies and consumers, and prepare appropriate technical inputs for policy making. Monitor developments in the domestic market and analyze options for policy changes in pricing, transportation, distribution of petroleum products. Collect, compile and disseminate data on the domestic oil and gas sector in a continuous manner and maintain the data bank. To ensure quality of data in terms of prescribed parameters such as accuracy, completeness and timeliness. To prepare periodic reports on various aspects of oil and gas sector. National Monetization Pipeline. Concept of National Monetization Pipeline (NMP). Asset monetization is defined as the transfer of core assets owned by government to the private sector for a limited period. The core infrastructure assets include roads, ports, airports, telecom, railways, warehousing, energy pipelines, power generation, power transmission, hospitality and sports stadiums. NMP does not include monetization of non-core assets such as land, buildings, etc. NMP is not privatization. Since the ownership of the assets would continue to remain with the government, the assets would be only transferred to the private sector for limited duration of time based upon the contract. Note: assets which are central to the business objectives of the government have been categorized as core assets for the purpose of monetization. Aim of NMP envisages an aggregate monetization potential of 6 lakh crores through the leasing of core assets of the central government. Scope: roads, railways, power, oil and gas pipelines, telecom, civil aviation, shipping ports and waterways, mining, stadiums and sports complexes. Global examples: asset recycling initiative in Australia helped in raising over $17 billion for funding infrastructure. Similarly, Indonesia's limited concession scheme was also hugely successful. Asset monetization models: direct contractual models, operate, maintain, transfer model used as toll operator transfer model in national highways. Operate, maintain, develop OMD used as operation management development agreement in airports. Long term lease agreements used for leasing of telecom towers, bus terminals, stadiums, etc. Structured financing models: real estate investment trusts, infrastructure investment trusts. Okay. Sector accounting for highest share: roads 70%, roads 27%, railways 25%, power, oil and gas pipelines and telecom, roads and railways together account for 52% of the share. National Logistic Policy. Ministry of Commerce and Industry released the National Logistic Policy 2022. Focus on National Logistics Policy will be efficiency in logistics services, processes, digital framework, regulatory framework, and human resources. Targets of National Logistics Policy: reduce logistics cost to comparable global benchmarks by 2030. Improve India's ranking in World Bank's Logistic Performance Index. India should be ranked among top 25 countries by 2030. Create data-driven decision support mechanism for an efficient logistics system. Direct objectives: integration, optimization, standardization, modernization, formalization, democratization. Integration: promote intermodality, multimodality through seamless integration of process, digital systems, policies or plans and legislative requirements. Optimization: promote and ensure optimal utilization of logistics infrastructure or assets or facilities through synergetic usage. Standardization of physical assets, processes, taxonomy, benchmarking of service quality standards in logistics sector. Modernization: to promote greater adoption of ICT, upgraded infrastructure, use of drones, automation, innovation, green logistics, best practices, and facilitate integration with global value chain. Formalization: to reduce fragmentation, promote excellence, mainstream logistics in higher education, upskilling and reskilling of existing workforce. Democratization: to promote inclusivity by addressing needs of logistics supply and user side and encourage public private participation. PM Gati Shakti approach: it is an approach for growth, accelerating trustworthy infrastructure through synchronized, holistic, integrated and comprehensive planning based on knowledge, technology and innovation. Provides comprehensive database Gati Shakti digital platform of ongoing and future projects of various ministries in infrastructure, that is infrastructure ministries and states involved in development of economic zones. Ministries related to social infrastructures have also been integrated into PM Gati Shakti. PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan has been developed as a digital master planning tool by BISAGN Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Applications and Geoinformatics, and has been prepared in dynamic geographic information system platform wherein data on specific action plan of all the ministries departments have been incorporated within a comprehensive database. Note: logistics division has been transferred to Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Objectives of PM Gati Shakti: create next generation infrastructure by learning from past, prepare an integrated plan for infrastructure for address missing gaps to ensure seamless movement of people, goods and services, enhance ease of living, ease of doing business, minimize disruptions and expedite a completion of works with cost efficiencies. Credit Guarantee Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises Scheme, CGTMSE Scheme, Credit Guarantee Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises Scheme. Ministry of MSME had issued guidelines for revamping of Credit Guarantee Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises with effect from 1st April 2023. Credit Guarantee Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises Scheme created a landmark by touching the milestone approving guarantees worth 1 lakh crore rupees during financial year 2022 to 2023. In the Union Budget, announcement was made for infusion of additional capital of 9,000 crore rupees in Credit Guarantee for Micro and Small Enterprises Scheme for enabling additional collateral free guaranteed credit of 2 lakh crore rupees. Also, the cost of credit will be reduced by 1%. Revamped Credit Guarantee Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises Scheme. About CGTMSE Scheme. CGTMSE means C means credit, G means guarantee, S means GT means guarantee, S means M means micro and S means small, E means enterprises scheme. Guarantees are provided for extending collateral free lending to micro and small enterprises through banks and financial institutions including NBFCs. The scheme covers collateral free credit facility, term loan and or working capital extended by Eligible lending institutions to new and existing micro and small enterprises up to 500 lakh per borrowing unit. 500 lakh per borrowing unit. The guarantee cover provided under the scheme varies from 75% to 85% depending upon the quantum of loan and type of beneficiary. A nominal amount towards an annual guarantee fee for the credit facility sanctioned is charged on the outstanding loan amount. Aims to encourage first generation entrepreneurs to venture into self-employment opportunities by facilitating credit guarantee support for collateral free or third party guarantee free loans to micro and small enterprises, especially in absence of collateral. Special economic zones, SEZs. What are SEZs? Geographically delineated duty-free enclave and deemed to be a foreign territory for the purposes of trade operations, duties and tariffs. All the territory outside the SEZ is the domestic tariff DTA. SEZs can be set up by the central, state or a private entity. Objectives: generation of additional and economic activity, promotion of exports, promotion of investment from domestic and foreign sources, creation of employment opportunities along with the development of infrastructure facilities. Kabil, set up as a joint venture company by 3 PSUs for carrying out mining and processing of strategic minerals overseas for commercial use. Kabil has signed an agreement with an Argentine firm for the joint prospecting and exploration of lithium in Argentina, Latin America's famous lithium triangle that encompasses lithium deposits in northwest Argentina, northern Chile and southwest Bolivia holds about 80% the explored lithium of the world. Purple revolution in the JNK. Many farmers in JNK have shifted from maize to lavender cultivation due to Mission Aroma. Year of launch 2017. Objective: promote cultivation of economically important aromatic crops such as lavender, mint, lemon grass, rosemary, wild marigold, damask rose, Indian valerian and lemongrass. Nodal agency CSIR, Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, Lucknow. Nature of intervention: free distribution of aromatic plants to encourage cultivation, oil distillation facilities to extract essential oils from aromatic plants, integration of beekeeping with cultivation of aromatic crops for enhancement of livelihood and additional income for the farmers, value addition of aromatic crops, providing support in form of awareness training and capacity building, entrepreneurship development. Purple revolution in JNK. Lavender has become vastly popular among small and marginal farmers of the Jammu division, particularly in Doda district. Many farmers have shifted from maize to lavender cultivation in recent years. Marigold cultivation. Himachal Pradesh has become largest producer of wild marigold oil in the country, 6.49 tons, a step towards self-reliant India. Status of fisheries sector. India is second largest producer of fish and second largest aquaculture nation. Of this, the inland fisheries contributed 68% and the remaining 32% is contributed by marine fisheries. Major producers: Andhra Pradesh inland, Gujarat marine. Major: Andhra Pradesh inland, Gujarat marine. Contribution to GDP increased from 0.40% in 1950 to 51 to 1% in 2017 to 18. Details about Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana: enhance fish production by an additional 70 lakh ton by 2024 to 25, increasing fisheries export earnings to 1 lakh crore rupees by 24 to 25, doubling of incomes of fishers and fish farmers, reducing post harvest losses from 20 to 25% to about 10%, and generation of additional 55 lakhs direct and indirect gainful employment opportunities in fisheries sector and allied activities. Approach: cluster or area based approaches and creation of fisheries clusters through backward and forward linkages. Nature of scheme: PM MSY is an umbrella scheme with two separate components, namely a central sector scheme CS and a centrally sponsored scheme. Funding pattern: central sector component 100% funding by the center, centrally sponsored component 60:40. In case of northeastern Himalayan states 90:10. One nation one fertilizer scheme. One nation one fertilizer scheme. One nation one fertilizer scheme. Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers has recently announced a new scheme, Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Januvarak Pariyojana (PMBJP). Under this scheme, it has been decided to implement one nation one fertilizer by introducing a single brand for fertilizers and logo under the fertilizer subsidy scheme. Present fertilizer subsidy. Rationale behind the new scheme. Presently, the government incurs huge expenditure on fertilizer subsidy. However, the fertilizer companies continue to sell the fertilizers through their own brand names without giving any credit to the government. The new scheme will enable the government to take credit for the fertilizer subsidy. Okay. Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Janurvarak Pariyojana. Under the new One Nation One Fertilizer scheme, companies are allowed to display their name, brand, logo and other relevant production information only on 1/3 space of their bags. On the remaining 2/3 space of the Bharat band and Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana logo will have to be shown. The single brand name for urea, DAP, MOP and NPK etc. would be Bharat Urea, Bharat DAP, Bharat MOP, Bharat NPK etc. respectively for all fertilizer companies. PM Pranam scheme. PM Pranam stands PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment, Amelioration of Mother Earth. The program will incentivize states or UTs to promote alternative fertilizers and balanced use of chemical fertilizers. Incentives will be provided to states based on state-wise assessment of actual reduction in consumption on a baseline average of 3 years on chemical fertilizers. Center will financially incentivize states by paying them a grant of 50% of savings by reduction in consumption of chemical fertilizers, urea, DAP, NPK, MOP. State-wise assessment will be done using the Integrated Fertilizer Management System operated by Department of Fertilizer under the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Alternative fertilizers to be promoted under the scheme are organic and biofertilizers. Nano urea and nano DAP. Nano urea and nano DAP are indigenously manufactured or highly efficient versions of their conventional forms. Benefits of the scheme: check soil degradation due to excessive use of chemical fertilizers, reduce rising fertilizer subsidies, reduce geopolitical risks in fertilizer sector. India is world's third largest fertilizer importer. Balance of payment. Record of economic transactions between residents and non-residents for a period of 1 year. BOP comprises of current account and capital account. Currency manipulator. It is basically a label given by the US government to countries which it believes are deliberately devaluing their currencies against the dollars to boost exports, reduce imports and thus achieve higher trade surplus with US. 3 criteria: a bilateral trade surplus with the US of more than $20 billion, a current account surplus of at least 3% of GDP, net purchase of foreign currency of 2% of GDP over 12 months. Note: an economy which meets all above 3 criteria is labeled as currency manipulator. An economy meeting 2 or 3 criteria is placed on the monitoring list. Recently, India has been placed on the monitoring list. latest in its latest development of April 2021. Okay. India removed from the monitoring list in 2023. Latest development in its latest edition of April 2021, the US Treasury Department has decided to retain India on the currency monitoring list along with the other 10 other countries. Now India removed from the monitoring list also 2023 as per 2023 April. కొన్ని అప్డేట్ చేయలేదు దీంట్లో. GST on lotteries. The lotteries are currently taxed on dual rate, while state-run lotteries are taxed at 12%. Private lotteries authorized by state governments are taxed at 28%. Further, under the present mechanism, if a state authorized lottery is sold in the same state, then it is taxed at 12%. However, if it is sold outside the state, then it is taxed at 28%. Such dual GST rates on lotteries goes against the principle of one nation, one tax. Even the private lottery operators have been arguing in favor of uniform GST rates to create a level playing field between state operated lotteries and private operated lotteries. Algorithmic trading. SEBI has proposed to create a regulatory framework for algo trading, meaning algorithmic trading is algo trading is a method of executing a large order using pre-programmed instructions. These instructions could be based variables such as time, price and volume. For example, a user wants to sell the share. If its price falls below 10 rupees, the user can then issue instructions to sell the share. If its prices fall below 10 rupees, the user need not keep on monitoring prices of share. As soon as the market price falls to below 10 rupees, the shares are automatically sold without any manual intervention. Present status: almost 50% of daily trading volume is executed through algo trading. Currently, exchanges are providing approval for the algo submitted by the broker. However, for the algos deployed by retail investors using application programming interfaces, neither exchanges nor brokers can identify if the particular trade emanating from API link is an algo or a non-algo trade. Such unregulated and unapproved algos pose a risk to the market and can be misused for systematic manipulation. SEBI's proposal: all the algo trades carried out through APIs need to be approved by the stock exchanges. Cantillon effect. Cantillon effect explains how changes in supply of money in an economy can affect prices of different goods in different proportions. This is because the real purchasing power of individuals is not affected uniformly by the changes in money supply. Quantity theory of money. Increase in the overall money supply in an economy causes a proportionate rise in the prices of goods and services over the long run. So, if the money supply in an economy double, this should lead to a rough doubling of prices across the economy. Cantillon effect. When money supply is expanded, the fresh money does not get evenly distributed across the country all at once. The first recipients of freshly created money and money spend their money on certain goods and services. The prices of these goods and services began to rise before the prices of other goods and services. The freshly created money takes time to percolate through the wider economy and cause the prices of all goods and services to rise proportionately. Types of inflation. Based on its origin, inflation is categorized into demand pull and cost pull inflation. Cost pull inflation, caused by rise in prices of factors of production such as increased cost of raw materials, electricity, rent, labor, etc. Demand pull inflation occurs in a situation where demand increases due to excess money supply with people without increase in supply level. In other words, it occurs when too much money chasing too few goods. The rate of inflation is measured based on price indices. Price index measures the average level of prices and not that of a single good. The inflation is measured on a point to point basis, that is prices in the current month are compared with prices in the corresponding month of the previous year. Phillips curve, inflation, unemployment, stagflation, a situation characterized by slow economic growth and high unemployment, stagnation accompanied by inflation. Okay. Basics of inflation. Inflation refers to a sustained rise in general level of prices over a period of time in the economy. This results in fall in the value of money, that is purchasing power of money over a period of time. Deflation refers to a fall in the general level of prices over a period of time. Negative rate of inflation. Disinflation, slowing down of rate of inflation. Skewflation, generally price rise over sustained period of time is skewed to one or a small group of commodities. Phillips curve establishes the inverse relations between inflation and unemployment. Accordingly, as levels of unemployment decrease, decrease, inflation increases. Okay. Inflation tax refers to penalty for holding cash at a time of high inflation due to erosion of value of money. Mahila Samman Savings Certificate. Union Budget 2023 to 2024 announced announced a one-time new small savings scheme. Mahila Samman Savings Certificate will be made available for 2-year period up to March 2025. This will offer deposit facility up to 2 lakh rupees in the name of women or girls for a tenure of 2 years at a fixed interest rate of 7.5% with partial withdrawal of option. To operationalize this scheme, Department of Economic Affairs has now notified the Mahila Samman Savings Certificate. About Mahila Samman Savings Certificate, application for opening an account under MSSC scheme shall be made by a woman for herself or her guardian on behalf of a minor girl on before 31st March 2025. The account will be a single holder type account. Deposits, a maximum limit of 2 lakh rupees can be deposited in an account or accounts held by an account holder. An individual may open any number of objects subject to a maximum limit for MSSC, and time gap of 3 months shall be maintained between existing account and opening another account. Minimum account for opening an account is 1000 rupees and any sum of multiples in 100 rupees, and no subsequent deposit shall be allowed in that account. ఇంకొకసారి కూడా వచ్చి మళ్ళీ చదవాలి. Financial inclusion. PM Shram Yogi Man Dhan, voluntary and contributory pension scheme, 50:50 contribution by subscriber and central government. Eligibility, unorganized workers less than 15,000 rupees monthly salary and in age group of 18 to 40 years. Minimum assured pension 3,000 rupees per month after attaining the age of 60 years. Family pension, death of subscriber, 50% of the pension to the spouse. 50% of the pension to the spouse. Contribution by subscriber depends upon age of entry. Ministry, labor and employment. Atal Pension Yojana, guaranteed pension of 1000 rupees to 5000 rupees depending upon contribution receivable at the age of 60 years. Eligibility, primarily focused on unorganized workers, but any Indian citizen in the age group of 18 to 40 years can join through their savings bank account or post office savings bank account. Government contribution, 50% of total prescribed contribution of up to 1000 rupees per annum. 2 conditions, available only for a period of 5 years. Subscriber should not be income taxpayers. Okay, subscriber should not be income taxpayers. Ministry of Finance. Tokenization of payments. Earlier in 2019, the RBI had released guidelines on tokenization for debit and credit card transactions to enhance the safety and security of the payment systems in the country. The RBI has recently decided to extend the deadline for card tokenization to June 30, 2022. Tokenization is the process of replacing the customer's account number with a unique alphanumeric token which can be used for transactions. This token will act as the card at point of sale POS terminals instead of the card details point of sale. The token allows payments to be processed without exposing actual account details. Hence, the online portals would not be allowed to store and card details. Benefits of tokenization. Tokenization provides added layer of security and convenience for the customers. It eliminates the need to enter the account number multiple times when shopping on a smartphone or tablet. Less risk in storing tokens online. Even if it is hacked, it would not be possible for the fraudsters to decrypt the account details.